Holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Precious, 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 precious is the I am. Precious is I am. I'm opening to the Spirit of love. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening to the Spirit of love. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening to the Spirit of love. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening to the Spirit of love. Let the love flow through me. 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 Flow through me. I'm opening. The splendor of a king, clothed in majesty. Let all the earth rejoice, all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light when darkness tries to hide, trembles at his voice, trembles at his voice. How great is our God, 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 how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. How great is our God? How great is our God? Oh, how great is our God? How great is our God? How great is our God? How great is our God?
How great indeed. Thank you, Margot. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto, to our Sunday celebration service. Good morning. My name is Rusty Gaillard. I am your stand-in leader for the service today, while Reverend John Riley is on sabbatical for the month of September. So welcome, glad to see you all here. Thank you. For those of you who might be new to Unity, Unity here in Palo Alto is part of a global spiritual community. And we welcome people from all walks of life, from all faith and spiritual backgrounds. Wherever you are in your life today, you are welcome here. If you are looking for a deeper experience of spirit, for more ready connection of health and abundance and joy in your life, or a sense of purpose and spiritual growth, you're welcome here in any of those places. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today the rest of the team who is going to be leading the service. We have Casey Wicker as our platform leader, Margot Leduc, our soloist, who we just heard. We'll hear more. And we have Russell Norman on piano and Ronnie Beck on drums. So I will now turn it back over to our music team to lead us in our opening song. Please stand and join us.
Joy, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be peace. We let the peace wash over. Go back to love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be
Well, good morning. I'm Casey Wicker, all washed in the love and joy. How about you? Yeah, I hope you at home, you here are feeling that today. Well, we are part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education. Yeah, not alone. There's a whole bunch of us learning all this. And these teachings open us to experience the love, the joy, the peace that is ours at any moment, at any time. So we are a spiritual movement. We are welcoming and inclusive, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. Now, we have 5 core principles that guide us. The first principle, God is. There is only one power active in the universe and in our lives, God, the good, omnipotent. Our second is, I am. You guess what? You can't be separate from it. I am sounds just as it is. I am. Because God is the substance and intelligence innate in every person and in all creation. You are that spark. You are that spark. And the third, having this knowledge is important. Mind action, that thoughts in mind produce after their kind. It's so important to know that we have the ability to affect our world. And the fourth is the prayer and meditation. So we have a huge responsibility. We recognize there's one power, one presence. We recognize that we are it. We recognize that we affect our world. Well, we better be prayed up and meditated, right? Let's center ourselves. So this is really a tool to help us follow through. And then the fifth, now that we're grounded and planted, we go out and we be it. For as we live according to these truths daily, we open to the truth of who we are. And that truth is what unity calls the Christ. So these 5 core vision statements, these guide us in living our vision statement, and I'm going to invite you to affirm it with me. Together, centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. Yes, yes. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. And so it is. We now continue our service with the call to worship.
You are so beautiful. To me, you are so beautiful. To me, can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. 'Cause you are so beautiful to me.
Today's daily word is thoughtful. I'm going to read our affirmation and then I'll invite you to affirm it with me. My kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. Together, my kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. Today, I bring the love and peace of God to all my encounters by being thoughtful. More than politeness and deeper than kindness. Thoughtfulness means I consider the comfort and happiness of others equal to my own. My intention is to let those in my life know what they mean to me. I may reach out to someone who needs an encouraging word, letting them know they have what it needs to succeed. and may surprise someone with a kind act, anticipating a need and taking care of something before they have to ask. Each thoughtful word and act lets those in my life know how important they are to me and how worthy they are of my time and attention. From Hebrews 13, verse 16, do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God.
I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now's the time for me to let go of the shame. The past behind me, I see anew. I'm ready for my change. Yes, I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender, yeah. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender, yeah. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on, I let go. I surrender. Oh, yes, I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change.
All right. Thank you, Margot. Woo. Amazing. As I mentioned, I'm here for the 3 weeks of September and have stitched together 3 different talks, which are all under the theme of spiritual growth from the outside in. Last week, we talked a little bit about vision, and we also talked about this sense of living in an abundant world. So Casey walked us through the 5 core principles that we use here at Unity. And the first principle is God is, that there is one power, one presence active in the universe. And that is a power of abundance. I asked last time at the beginning, how many of you think there is enough in this world? And pretty much everyone raised their hand. And what an inspiring belief that is, to know that we live in a world where there is enough. And that power and that presence is not just a presence of abundance, but it's not static. It's a dynamic experience. It's one that is always growing and expanding. When you think about the very universe that we live in, it's growing and expanding. And if any of you have checked out the James Webb Space Telescope, there have been some amazing pictures of the universe, stretching out billions of light years into the distance because the universe continues to grow and expand. And on a much smaller scale, of course, we see that in human history, right? Even if you look back a decade or 100 years or several hundred years, you see how our world has grown and expanded in scientific knowledge, in population, in technological advancements. There's always growth and expansion happening. And even on a day today, like we have rain here in Palo Alto, how cool is that? It is, yes, exactly. That's worthy of some applause. That rain itself is a force of nature. It is the essence of life, and things will start to grow again as water comes. And plants and trees and animals are always growing. So this is the world that we live in. And the second principle, of course, is I am. I am not separate from that world. I am of that world. I am a part of that world. I am an expression of that abundance and creativity. I love the way Reverend John describes that. He describes that you are connected to God in the same way that a wave is connected to the ocean. You are like the wave and God is like the ocean. They are inseparable. They are, in fact, one and the same. You are an expression of it. And so you are an expression of abundance and creativity. You are abundance and creativity. Just like we see that in the world around us, we see the abundance, we see the creation and the growth all around us, so is that in you. Not just in you, but that is you. You are abundant and creative. Oh, how about that? Well, my little clicker here isn't doing what it's intended to do. Oh, I got it, Casey. Thank you, but I just figured it out. Okay, so if we are about growth and we are about abundance, the question is, do we remember that? It's so easy to go out of these doors, out into the world again, and get surrounded with all of the material aspects of our life. We're busy, we have to go grocery shopping, we've got to go to work, we've got to do all these different things in our lives, and sometimes we forget to live from that place of truth within us. And I believe that's what spiritual growth is about. Spiritual growth is about remembering who we are and then remembering more consistently who we are. So when we go out into the world and things are difficult and busy and we've got a busy schedule and we're moving around a lot, can we remember who we are? That we are fundamentally abundant and creative expressions of this universal intelligence in the world. Well, that's a great ideal. And yet, when you think about abundance, for many of us, you say, what is abundance? What does it mean to live abundantly? Many of us will think about, well, it means I've got a comfortable place to live, I've got enough money in the bank, I get to hang out with my friends and drink a nice wine and have good meals. We tend to think about the material things of our lives. That's what we think of as abundance for many of us. And if we think about abundance in that way, then we say, well, I want more of those things in my life. I want more abundance. I want more resources. I want more opportunities. And these tend to be things that we think about in terms of the material world around us. And yet we weren't put here on this earth to accumulate things, because we know that when we leave, we don't take any of that with us. We were put here on this earth to contribute, because we are abundant. We are creative by our nature. So you were not put here to consume, you were put here to contribute, to add to the world. And so this is our opportunity to live more from that place of truth versus facts. And we talked about this last week, that the truth is everlasting. It's not changing, the truth of your abundance and creativity. And yet the facts of your life come and go, and the facts might include a health challenge or a financial challenge or a relationship challenge. That's the truth. We all encounter those things in our lives. Those are the facts of life, and yet we have this truth. To me, I sometimes think about it like being a boat out on the ocean. And if it's a beautiful day and you're out on the boat and the sun is shining and the seas are calm, you can relax on the boat knowing that you feel safe and you can see shore, you can see the horizon, and you feel great. And then the weather might come in, and it might get a little bit foggy, might get a little bit blustery, overcast, and maybe you can't see the horizon. You start to feel a little nervous. And the wind picks up, and the waves pick up, and so there's big waves. And sometimes at the peak of a wave, You can see out around you, and then you dip down in the trough of a wave and you can't see the horizon anymore. And what do most of us do in that situation? We experience some fear, naturally. And when we experience fear, what do we think? I'm not going to see the horizon again. We forget that truth because the facts are that we're surrounded by water and fog and gray sky. And yet the truth is knowing and being able to trust and believe that the horizon is there, even when you're in the trough of a wave. And that is the purpose of your vision. We talked last week about the vision is like a key that helps you remember and unlock that door to potential, that door of truth. The key that unlocks the door of truth that helps you remember the horizon is always there, even when you're in the trough of a wave. Even when the facts of your life are challenging, the truth remains that you are abundant and creative. So that's one purpose of a vision. But there's a second purpose of a vision too, and that is to help you guide your activity during the day. Right? If you're abundant and creative, what does that mean? It means you're always creating. We are all creating every day, every moment of our lives. We don't get a choice in that because at the end of the day, we have created a day of experience. My comparison in this case is a little bit like running a factory. And that factory is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're the person responsible for that factory running 24/7, what do you want to make sure of? Making good stuff. Making stuff you want. Exactly. You want your factory to be producing good stuff. Well, that's part of your vision. Your vision is what are you producing? So many of us, though, we inherit a vision. We inherit it from our parents. Maybe they inherited it from their parents. Or we see someone else and they say, oh, that's kind of interesting. I could live my life like that. Or we just assume that it's something that's the way our life is because of what we see around us. So your vision is the production manager for your factory. We all have one. We're all producing things. We're all experiencing life. So are you producing a sense of lack and difficulty and frustration? Or are you producing things that you want, abundance and joy and connection? You get to decide that based on your vision. And that's the second purpose of having a good vision. So that brings us then to today. And today's talk is called Looking at the World Through Green-Colored Glasses. Well, I'm sure you've all heard the expression rose-colored glasses, right? Which has a little bit of a, kind of a negative connotation to it, right? That you've got a little bit of a overly optimistic view on the world, perhaps. Well, I think many of us also look at the world through green-colored glasses. And what is green? Money, right? Reverend John, over the last couple of months or so, has talked about this class that he taught here at Unity, The Keys to the Kingdom. I was a participant in that class, and I'm going to draw on a little bit of the material from David Owen Ritz. And one of the things he said, he was the author of this class, Keys to the Kingdom, he said, many of us believe, and often it's really in our society, this belief that money is the ultimate source of power and possibility and happiness. And if you're looking at the world through green-colored glasses, that's what you think. That money is that source. It has that control of our lives because we give it that much control of our lives. So I thought it'd be useful to spend a little bit of time today talking about what is money, really, and what is your relationship to it. So let's start with the first question. What is money? Well, I mean, that's kind of a simple question in some ways, right? It's these little green pieces of paper. But what does it represent? Money fundamentally is a currency. It is something that we use in exchange for something else. Now, if you go to work, you've got a job. You go work, you do your work at your job, and you get paid. You get paid in money. And many of us think about that's kind of our experience with money, and then we use that money to buy things, goods and services that are important to us. That's our perspective of money. But take a different perspective for a moment. Instead of attaching yourself to you, attach your point of view to a dollar bill that is floating through the economy. And that dollar bill comes and goes from person to person. It comes to you as you do your job, and then it goes as you buy groceries. And then the grocery store comes into the grocery store, and then it goes out as wages to the employees of that grocery store, who then have that dollar bill, they receive it, and they use it for something else. Money it flows from person to person. We tend to think of money very much from our personal standpoint, but when you start to think of it as flowing from person to person, you get a little bit of a different perspective of it. And what, in fact, do you receive money for? You receive money in exchange for your creative contribution to the world. So you go out in the world and you bring your energy, your abundance, your creativity, and in exchange you're given money, which is simply a tool that represents something you can trade for something else, for someone else's creative expression in the world. If you buy a loaf of bread, that baker has put their creativity and their abundance into that loaf of bread. The money goes to that person, and the baker takes that money and gives some of it to the farmer who has grown the wheat with their creative and abundance in combination with the creativity and abundance of the earth. So money flows from person to person in exchange for your creativity and abundance. And what is your creativity and abundance? But your spiritual gift. It's the divine in you. It's the holy part of you. And so money, in fact, is an expression and is a tool that is used to exchange the gifts that we have inside of us. It's an expression of the divine. And in fact, David Owen Ritz calls it God in action. Money can be God in action. I'm going to read you a little bit of what he has to say about it. He says, seen from a higher perspective, money is a material manifestation or symbol of the flow of divine energy through our lives. Money is really God in action because it is the medium we use to create and express the good we desire in our lives. Furthermore, money is an extension of you, the user of money. How you earn and use it reflects your own unique understanding and desires in life. Therefore, your beliefs, attitudes, thoughts, and feelings have great influence over whether the flow of money will increase or diminish for you. You cannot separate your consciousness from your finances. An abundant flow of money through your life requires a consciousness that permits an abundant flow. So if money is indeed God in action, that's what money is. So then it's worth exploring, what is our relationship to money? What do we think about money? Last week, I introduced a TV show that I'd watched last year called Undercover Billionaire. And for those of you who weren't here last week, I'll just give you a very brief summary of what it's about. But the show took 3 people who were billionaires in real life and put them in a city they've never been to with an assignment. They could not use their name, they could not use their financial resources, they could not use their connections, they couldn't use any of that, and their job was to build a $1 million business within 90 days. The only resources they had were themselves, $100, a car, and a cell phone with no contacts. Can you imagine that situation? Well, I described one of the participants, a woman who showed up there. She was actually in Fresno, California, and she showed up in Fresno with no place to stay, with $100, looking for where am I going to spend my first night? She could not find any place for less than $100. Now, what would you do in that situation? Right? Most of us would say, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money. I can't afford this place. What does that thinking reflect about your experience of money? There's not enough. Has anyone ever had that thought, there's not enough money? Has anyone ever had that experience? I can't afford it, there's not enough money? Yeah. I think we all have had that at some point in our lives. But the more frequently we have that thought, the more that thought of scarcity becomes associated with money. And now when you think about money, the first thought is, there's not enough. Well, that's interesting, right? If money is the manifestation of God in action flowing through your life, and your first thought is there's not enough. Well, we're focused on the facts rather than the truth. One way to think about this is the truth that there is never a shortage of money. There's always enough. So someone after the service last time came up to me and said, what happened to this woman? You know, here she is on the streets in Fresno. What does she do? Well, she tapped into a bigger awareness that the fact is she does not have enough money to pay for a hotel room. But the truth is, there is always another opportunity. The truth is, there is enough. And she tapped into that. She was able to find a boarding house and offer her services, her energy, her creative capacity in exchange for a place to stay. And she did that. And she had a place to stay, which became a foundational place for her, allowed her to go on and focus on building a business. And the truth is, there's never a lack of money, but there's a lack of ideas. There's a lack of creativity. There's a lack of awareness of truth. When we forget the truth and we focus just on the facts, it's easy to get absorbed in the facts. Like when you're in the trough of that wave. That's the fact. You can't see the horizon from that place. But can you remember the truth? That the horizon is there. And the truth that we live in an abundant world. It's easy to remember when we're sitting here on Sunday morning. It's not always easy to remember when we're out there. But that's the practice. That is spiritual growth, is remembering more and more often that we do live in an abundant world, that you are abundant, that you are creative. And when you tap into that creativity and your own abundance, there is enough. And there is only one source of the good in your life. Many times we think it's money. That's our stability. That's our source. But it's not your source. Money is a reflection of your source. Your source is this universal intelligence, God, abundance, love, life itself. That is the source of all good in your life. And when we remember that, that is the truth that is the foundation for growth. So that's the first question to reflect on and to practice this week. How can I start to shift my association with money from there's not enough, I can't afford it, to there is enough. I live in an abundant world. I am abundant. I am abundance in action. I am creativity in action. That's the first point about money. One of the other contestants on this show was someone who was quite a character, and he loved money. This guy kind of had a swagger when he walked. He came to this show flying on his own private jet with his name painted on the side of the jet, and he talked about money all the time. He landed in his city and he said, I don't have a lot of money right now, but there's someone out there who does have money, and they're going to give it to me for the work that I'm going to do. They've got my money. I just got to go find the money. It's really mine. They're holding on to it for me right now. And he loved money. He was very open about this. I love money. I want more money. So, I was watching this and I had a reaction. I'm curious, do any of you have a reaction to that kind of energy about money? Yeah? Give me a thumbs up if it's a good reaction, like, yeah, that's cool, I want that. And give me a thumbs down if you're like, yeah, that turns me off a little bit. Yeah? I see a mix. I see some up and down, usually even up and down in one person. But pay attention to that, right? I had a little bit of this thumbs down kind of experience. That's not really my style. But if you don't love money, why would you ever get more of it? If money is God in action, why is more money going to flow to you if you don't like it? It's worth just noticing your relationship and your thoughts about money, right? Casey's now got 2 thumbs up. Notice your thoughts and your reaction about money. So go back to what is money? Money is just the flow of energy through life. It's God in action. And money is a reflection of you. How you use money, how you attract money is a reflection of you. So this person was, how he used money was a reflection of him. That might not be me, and that's okay. But just to notice for yourself, do you like money? Are you comfortable with money? Are you okay saying, yes, I want more money in my life? And feel comfortable with that. And do you know how to use money? Do you feel comfortable with budgeting and spending and saving and all the different ways that we use money? And if you don't, it's worth investing some time and energy to get comfortable in that. Because why would you ever have more of something that you don't want? Pretty simple. So that's the second question. Are you comfortable? Is money your friend? Money, an expression of the abundance of the world, the flow of energy and positivity and creativity in this world. Are you friends with it? The third question is then, what do you do with money when you have it? I had an unfortunate experience a month or so ago. I was driving home after dropping my son off at school, and I was driving down the road, and I'd reached that point where the light turned yellow, and you know that really awkward point where either you're going to slam on the brakes to stop, or you're just like, I'm just going to go through it. Well, I just decided I was going to go through it, and as soon as I got through the intersection, the lights came on behind me, and I got pulled over. First traffic ticket in something like 20 years. But I went home and I went to deal with it, and I looked up how much it cost, and I was not happily surprised by how much it costs to pay for a red light ticket. And I sat down to write a check to pay for this, and there's a part of me that was bitter. I'll be honest, I didn't want to pay it. It's like, I've been a pretty good driver, I'm pretty safe, I haven't gotten a ticket in 20 years, and bam, here's this thing, and I don't want to pay that much money. And I remembered in that moment, because this was in the midst of this class, the keys to the kingdom that I've described, I remembered in that moment thinking, oh wow, if money is indeed a flow of energy out in the world, is this the energy that I want to put out in the world? Bitterness, resentment, frustration, anger? Sure, I went through the red light and I got a ticket. That is what it is. That's the fact. But what is the greater truth here about what I'm putting out into the world? And so I thought about that relative to this this traffic ticket that I had to pay the expense for. And then I thought about it relative to the rest of life. Think about all the places and times that you spend money in this world. When we talk about making a financial contribution to unity, we do it deliberately. And in fact, there's a blessing which we will say later. It's not just about what you're giving, it's about how you're giving it. It's about the energy that is associated with it that you put out into the world. And so I thought, why wouldn't that apply to my traffic ticket? Why doesn't it apply to paying my insurance bill, your groceries, gasoline? All of the ways that we're putting energy out into the world. God in action. Don't we want to send God in action out with good vibes? I think we do. I've heard stories of people, in fact, who every time they write a check, they're paying a bill, whether it's rent or groceries or whatever it is, they put a little something in the memo line just to remind them. Could be as simple as, thank you, God, for this abundance. Thank you for the fact that I have the resources to pay my traffic ticket. A simple reminder that you have enough to connect you with that sense of abundance, to give into the world with a sense of joy and faith and trust. Because we all know what we give out into the world is what we receive back. So don't we want to give with joy and faith and trust so that that is what we are met with? We amplify that experience in life. So those are the three simple questions to ponder and to take home and to see if there's some work for you to do with this, to reshape your relationship with money. Number one, do you associate money with scarcity? There's not enough. I can't afford it. Number two, is money your friend? Do you feel good about attracting money, this expression of abundance and possibility in the world? And number three, as you spend money in the world, as you navigate the world, which we all do you do so with joy, faith, celebration of your ability to live fluidly and abundantly in this world? So when we look at the world through green-colored glasses, I hope that we're all starting to get a slightly different perspective of what that means today. Right? Money is not the ultimate source of our good and possibility. Money is a reflection of spiritual movement in our life. Your spiritual movement, your ability to live more and more from this truth that you are an abundant and creative being in this world. And as you live more and more from that sense of truth, you can connect more with the sense of money as abundant. Money will be your friend because it is simply a reflection, a means of exchange with others for their abundance and creativity. And you will spend it and invest it with joy and trust and faith that as you put out in the world, so will be given back to you. So I invite you now to take this sense of abundance and possibility into a time of meditation and prayer. But before we do, I want to share the affirmation, and I will read it once out loud and then invite you to say it with me. When I live in harmony with universal abundance, my life is rich beyond measure. Will you say that together with me? When I live in harmony with universal abundance, my life is rich beyond measure. Let's take that now into our time of meditation and prayer. I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, and you can close your eyes if you're comfortable or soften your gaze. And turn within to that deep knowledge of the truth inside of you. That place inside of you that knows with trust and faith and joy and gratitude that we live in an abundant world. We live in a creative world. And connect with that spark inside of you that is abundance and creativity. Because you are an expression of abundance and creativity in this world. As you settle into that deep knowing, allow any circumstances or facts in your life that seem contrary to that truth to fall away just for this moment. Thoughts in mind produce after their kind. Allow your thoughts to focus on the truth of who you are. Your spiritual magnificence, your personal magnificence, your light that you bring to this world. Connect with that light inside of you and nurture it. Grow it. Let it shine radiantly inside of you. And then as that amplifies and grows in intensity and brightness and heat and warmth, allow that to spread beyond you, into the room, into this city that we're in Palo Alto, to this broader community of unity, and to the whole world. Allow your light to shine bright. And sit in that radiance, your abundance, your magnificence, your creativity, and bask in that light, in the stillness and in the silence. As you enjoy that radiant feeling, we expand that blessing of light and love and wholeness to all those who we hold in prayer. To those people who are close to you in your heart, for the names and the people in our prayer box. We surround them with this energy of love, seeing the light shine on them, seeing the light amplify their own light. We see those people guided by divine love, feeling more and more their own wholeness and abundance, and living from that spiritual place of creativity and beauty. We have that same prayer for our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise, loving decisions for peace, goodwill, and equality. And we add to this a wave of gratitude for the abundant world in which we live, for this community, and for our own spiritual wellness, life, and light that we can bring to the world. And with a deep sense of gratitude, we sing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we invite you to return your attention to this space and open your eyes if you've not already done so. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you live from that place of truth and abundance and creativity every day. Every day, not just on Sundays. If you are uplifted by this service, we invite you to make a financial contribution because Unity is a self-supporting community. And there are many ways to support Unity listed on the screen here behind me. But most importantly, as we just described, is not just what you give, it is how you give it, right? We receive back in the world based on the energy that we put out, remembering that our financial resources are just an expression of this abundance that we experience daily when we live from that place of truth. So we have a blessing which we will say together to crystallize this experience of giving in a joyous and free way. So I invite you to all say it with me together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Sing it with me. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right. Gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, 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 yeah, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. One more time. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, yes, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, yeah, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful,
We are so grateful. Oh my, yes. I'm going to ask you right now. I got to put this down and be out of the mark for a sec. Okay, back in the mark. Okay, because here it is. We get this opportunity right now to be grateful and send this energy out, whether you're here, whether you're online, whether you watch it later. I invite you to put your hand on your heart, because we know now our thoughts do create. We affect the world. So right now, in gratitude, in love, in connection, you fill in the blank of the word. What brought you here today? What are you being filled up with right now? What has sparked you? Send that out to each other. Just look around. Send it out to each other. We're sending it out to you online. And when you watch in the week, during the week, you're going to get it too. You're going to get it. So we are grateful for each other, grateful for the space, the sanctuary, the people that come here to make it happen. We of Unity Palo Alto are blessed, and so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Okay, and that connection continues, but wait, there's more. Oh, let's see. Okay, now I got to get together. Yeah. All right, so there are many opportunities to connect and continue this connection throughout the week. We invite you to explore the many opportunities for spiritual growth, sacred service, and celebrating our community. So, saying that, we're just going to say there is no board meeting this September. The board's going to be returned on Monday, October 17th. They get a little bit of vacation with Reverend John Riley as well, I guess. So, and they deserve it. But next Sunday, the fourth Sunday of the month, is Bring Your Own Lunch Brunch. Pack yourself a little something to nibble on, a little Sammy, a little cheese, crackers, whatever, and come invest an hour after service to get to know people better and have fun doing it. There'll be icebreakers and topics to talk about. So come and join. That's the fourth Sunday, Bring Your Own Lunch Brunch. Now, save the date, because we have more eating. Nothing says connection like eating together. Family coming around, right? Your spiritual family. Save the date for Unity Palo Potlucks. That's going to be October 9th at 11:30 in the Yes Hall. You can bring a dish, bring a friend, and enjoy some games. A sign-up sheet for food is at the hospitality table in the courtyard. So dust off your favorite recipe card. Yes, I said recipe card. Or you can look it up online and bring or here's my little hack, Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. You can find a Trader Joe hack. Yes, there we go. So come along, bring it, and we hope that you enjoy the fun. For more of these opportunities, go to unitypaloalto.org and connect with the social media channels, because there are so many ways to connect and share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. All right, so this is the third Sunday of the month, and it's the time that we bless the children. And I don't see now, I'm going to say, is there any kids, because y'all could come up. Y'all like, right, children at heart. But there's no children in the sanctuary, and so I think we all know kids, we all hold for them. I mean, just imagining what kids are dealing with right now in this world. And so with that, I say let's give this blessing a little extra oomph, because we got the energy going on today. So holding in consciousness all the children, all those maybe watching online, we want you to know you are blessed. So together we will say, you are God's perfect child. God and I love you just the way you are. So it is. All right, so now we get to all stand and sing our song of peace together.
God as creator, family
And now for our prayer of protection. Were we up there? Not yet. There it is. Okay, all together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a loving, wonderful, creative, abundant week.